Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys the weekly soul connection reading. And so we're going to be focusing on the energies for Monday, September 30th, going all the way until Sunday, October 6th. So a soul connection can be a twin flame, a soulmate, however you resonate with this person. We're not focusing on the label, just the energy. And I do tend to channel for those that are in a separation or some sort of challenge with their person. So I did something last week which was different, which a lot of you really liked. So I'm going to do it now moving forward. Unless, for whatever reason, I get that feeling that maybe it's not needed. I don't know. But I did get just a message from Spirit last week that it's something that I need to do with my readings, because there's a big collective out there, of these soul connections, and not every single person is in the same type of category. So we're going to be doing, again, group 1, group 2. I will put the timestamps in the description box below. If you have been a follower of mine for a while, or you watched last week's reading, you don't need to basically hear again, what group 1 and group 2 is, unless you want to, so stay tuned. But if you guys want to go straight to the reading, just hit the timestamp. And as usual, take what resonates, get rid of what doesn't. So group 1 is going to be for those of you, and just so you guys know, group 1 is not better than group 2, and group 2 isn't better than group 1. It's just where you're at on your journey. That's it. Okay? Some of you might feel like you are still really needing this connection. Again, nothing really wrong with that. Maybe you feel like you and your person are going to be coming back into some sort of union very soon. Maybe you're having conversations with this individual. Maybe you guys are almost to a point where you guys are going to, be working on your connection. So that is going to be for group 1, where you're very focused on coming back together. You feel it. It's right around the corner. It's just something that you're really focused on at this time. Again, nothing wrong with that. Group 2, a little bit different. Group 2 may have been on this journey for a while. Group 2 may have gotten to a point where they're kind of like, I don't necessarily even need this individual. I don't need to be with them in the physical world. I'm happy on my own. Maybe you're happy with someone else. Maybe you have just gotten to a point where you've even tried to let this connection go because you don't necessarily need it, but yet it's still in your energy field. So you still feel like there's something that you maybe are learning, maybe something you're still clearing, but it's just basically a part of you, and you're okay with it, and you've made peace with it, and you're still kind of on a journey to figure out what it means and what kind of transformation or ascension is taking place because of your connection with this individual. So do you see how it's different than number 2 or number 1? So just depending on where you're at on this journey, go ahead and choose number 1 and 2. And of course, you guys can watch both, and there could be a message for you guys in both of those readings. Totally up to you. So anyways, everything that I'm using is going to be in the description box below. Today, we're of course going to be using the Twin Flame Orgonite by Wing and Bell. So if you guys are interested in this Orgonite or any of the Orgonites that they create, go ahead and go to my timestamp, or not timestamp, the link in the description box below. I'm also using from Rising Sun Oracle this beautiful bracelet. I'm using other bracelets too, but this particular one, she creates all kinds of wonderful pieces. So I'll put her down below. She's got an Etsy shop and an Instagram, and I think she actually has a website. Maybe it's a website, not Etsy shop. But anyways, let's get into it. Group 1. If you are choosing to watch group number 1, let's get started. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to focus on the masculine energy in the connection. I do say he for masculine, but a masculine can be a female. So take it as it resonates. This particular deck is called the Psychic Tarot and Oracle deck by John Holland. We're not using reversals today, not feeling it. And really, every single card has a light and shadow, so you don't even really need to use reversals unless you're feeling guided to. We're going to go ahead and also combine this with the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. We're just going to basically break it down and see where the masculine is at this week. I'm just going to put these on the side because I don't have room for them. All right, where's the masculine at in his mental space this week? Let's take a look. Okay, we have exceeding expectations. And we have the 7 of Cups energy. This one wanted to come with it, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. Okay, interesting. The 7 of Cups is an energy of feeling mass confusion, really having a lot of choices and needing to narrow down your choices. Now, when we have the Sun's energy, this just means that things are being illuminated. This is an energy here where something is happening. So the masculine right now in his mental space is really clearing away a lot of confusion, clearing away of a lot of maybe procrastination. Things are coming to light. This is the sun's energy. The sun is masculine energy. So it means that it's basically dominant. It's sometimes needed in order to move forward, to force change in situations. So I do feel like the masculine is taking control of maybe some sort of choice, and he's exceeding expectations this week, not only with himself, but maybe those around him are going to be quite surprised with the progress that he is making. So that's really beautiful. Let's take a look and see what's happening in the heart space. Heart space, we have launching your journey. Interesting. Launching your journey. Wow. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles here. So we have 2 sevens, you guys. Whenever I see sevens are very spiritual numbers. There's a spiritual lesson here at hand. So the fact that we have the energy here of launching your journey, I feel like the masculine right now is literally going into a journey of his heart and his soul. Patience and planning, really thinking about, heavily contemplating. Whenever I see the 7 of Pentacles, that is an energy to me where we are really thinking about our progress so far in life. We're really taking time to just kind of see what we've built up so far in our life. And so I feel like the masculine might be really at this point where he's launching into his heart space. He's launching into his emotions. He's literally taking a journey into his heart. He might have been reserved for quite some time, but I'm getting that maybe all of the things that have happened to him so far, he might be really looking at this and thinking to himself, what is his next move? What does he want to do? And I'm seeing that he's going to be launching into a journey of his heart. So maybe really being a lot more vulnerable or open in his heart space. That is what I am seeing here. What's happening in the physical? See? That's not an accident, you guys. My heart is open. Now my heart is open on this journey. The masculine's heart is opening. His heart chakra is opening. He's on a journey. He's launching something on his journey through his heart energy. Oh, this is beautiful. The 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is a card of focusing on the self, doing a lot of self-care and self-work. So I feel that the masculine this week is actually exceeding his own expectations when it comes to growth. Anything that's fantasy-based, anything that is confusing, anything that's kind of taking the masculine off of his current path, or anybody in his life that just really isn't serving, or any situations. I feel like what he's doing now is he's kind of clearing things out. He's examining what he's done so far, and he's really making some changes, and he's opening his heart up in a completely new way. He's really focused on what makes him happy. That's what I'm seeing here. Really focused on what's making him happy for a change. So if this masculine has always been really putting his energy into worrying about everybody else, or just kind of sacrificing his own happiness for other people, I feel like something is shifting and changing. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to shift and change this week, but this is the energy that's with the masculine this week, really helping him to basically open himself up to what makes him happy. The 9 of Pentacles is a card of self-care to me. So this is the masculine really taking care of himself. Beautiful. Soul energy. Soul energy. Wow. Rising above. Rising above. Oh my God. Look, you guys. This right here is the Hermit's card. Rising above, raising your vibration, ascending, spending time alone, soul searching. Wow. For this to come up in the soul energy, we have a masculine who is really taking some time that he needs for himself and really doing some sort of work. His journey is being launched this week, and it's coming from some really deep, heartfelt energy. So something new is happening for the masculine this week. It's really beautiful. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and take a look and see where the feminine is at this week? Okay. So this right here is a tarot deck also by John Holland, but it is called the Psychic Heart Tarot and Oracle cards. So one is purple and one is green. So I'm going to go ahead and use the same deck for the feminine. Okay, so where's the feminine at this week when it comes to her mental space? Hearing messages from spirit. Okay, so there could be some clear cognizance going on, meaning that the feminine is receiving things as ideas and thoughts. It could, of course, even be hearing, because it does say hearing messages from spirit. Okay, so she's not just imagining it. Maybe she is actually hearing something. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. We have the feminine and the masculine mirroring each other this week. We have the Nine of Pentacles now. The Nine of Pentacles is self-care, because we're focused on the self, because we are taking time for us. So I feel like, group number one, you might be very focused on coming together and working this connection out, but I'm just seeing here that people's individual hard work on themselves is actually really producing beautiful results. That's what I'm getting. So this is awesome. The feminine might be really focused just on herself, on her career, being independent in some way, maybe focusing on her physical body. It's just definitely self-care all the way around. And I'm getting here that she's connected to her spirit, which is her higher self, that's telling her that that's where the energy needs to be. And it's actually really good. We also have sharing yourself coming up in the heart space. So the heart energy this week for the feminine. And we have the awareness card, Ace of Swords. So sharing of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being. So I feel like for some feminines, the feminines may have spent a lot of time just kind of focusing on themselves. And maybe now it's time to kind of get out there. This did come up in the new moon's reading yesterday in Libra. It's about getting out amongst the living again. Like, we've done the work. Now it's time for us to start putting those things into practice. A lot of times, when we're on a healing or spiritual journey, it's great to spend all that time alone, because you're literally untouched. You don't need to be triggered at all. You don't need to deal with other people. When we're dealing with other people, sometimes we can get triggered very easily. And so some of us get very comfortable just being alone, because if you're alone, then there's nothing that can happen to you, right? So when you open yourself up, you suddenly become vulnerable. But what I am getting is that spirit might be really suggesting or even creating situations to where you would have to open yourself up and open up the door of your heart space to share yourself with the world in some way. So I am getting that you are getting some clear messages from spirit that you've really done a lot of great work on yourself, but now it's time to put these disciplines, I guess, into action. So that is the message this week for that. Let's go ahead and get an outer energy, the environment energy for the feminine. Yeah, we have breaking barriers. So whatever barriers were there in the physical or are there in the physical, I feel like the feminine is breaking these barriers this week. Yeah. Okay. Wow. 9s coming up for the feminine. The masculine also got that too, 9s, and we also had 7s. So 7s and 9s are very prominent so far within the masculine and feminine energy. I definitely feel with 9s, this is a master number to me. It's about mastering something within yourself, but it's also you're coming to the end of a cycle. And so it might be that you need that time in order to basically recuperate. So the rest and reconsider, again, I do get the message though. We're breaking this barrier of needing to defend ourselves. We might have had to go through something in order to learn a particular lesson when it came to boundaries and respect and self-care. But what I am getting here is that now it's time to let some of those barriers down. And again, get out there amongst the living. Open yourself up, open yourself up to being vulnerable again in your heart space. It's time. It's time to get out there and share yourself once again. It doesn't mean that you're going out there and you're just basically laying it all out on the line and you're an open channel for anybody to come in, any Tom, Dick, and Harry to come in and basically fuck you up. That's not what I'm saying here. But the energy just means that you're stronger now. You can put something to practice. You're never going to know how advanced you are or how much you've really learned until you put it into practice. So that is the message for some reason when it comes to other people in your environment. Break these barriers. You don't have to be so defensive. You don't have to protect yourself so much because you're stronger than maybe you were before. This is good. Soul energy for the feminine. Giving birth. So this is new energy. You and the masculine are mirroring each other this week when it comes to the soul's energy. Look at that. So this is definitely about soul searching this week, giving birth, starting fresh. I mean, literally, you're giving birth out of this very solo, very independent energy, but like giving birth is new. I feel like you guys are coming out of this cycle. I almost feel like the masculine's actually going into the cycle, and the feminine has been in this energy for a little bit of time. And so now she's kind of coming out. She's being asked from spirit to kind of come out of her shell, because she's really, it says, well-deserved reward. Like, you're literally getting like this pin, this little badge, this little gold star. You've done really well, feminine. Now it's time to basically open yourself up and start to test yourself in a way, is what I'm seeing. And it might be that, this, again, it's going to only prove to you how strong and how much you've healed. Really, that's what I'm seeing. Wow, really cool. Okay, so why don't we switch gears now and see what the masculine is feeling towards the feminine this week. What does this energy look like? What is the masculine feeling towards the feminine? We're going to go into this deck right here, which is called The Art of Love Tarot by Denise Jarvie and Tony Carmine Salerno, and the Gaia Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle this and lay this down. All right, guys, how is the masculine thinking when he thinks about the feminine? What does this energy look like this week? Okay, things are evolving. We already saw this for the masculine. Something is evolving and changing and shifting. Wow. Visions. I feel like he is thinking about the feminine. That's what I'm seeing here. Things are starting to evolve. It does say earth changes, so things are changing in the earth. Climate change. So again, there's some kind of shifts that are taking place in the masculine's mental space. When it comes to the feminine, something is transforming. He's evolving. So because of this, we have the Three of Stars vision, Three of Stars, Three of Wands energy. Three of Wands energy is something that's off in the distance that hasn't really returned just yet. So it is an energy of kind of waiting. Maybe waiting to see what happens, waiting to figure something out. I feel like he's contemplating and thinking about something when it comes to the feminine. What about the heart space? What is he feeling? What is he feeling in his heart space towards the feminine? Okay, so I feel like there's a melancholy. There's a definitely a God, what's the word I'm thinking of? Just somebody who is reminiscing. Lost love, surrender, healing, and release. I definitely feel like the masculine is feeling the loss of this love, feeling the loss of this connection. But we have surrender, heal, and release. So a transformation has taken place when it comes to maybe the masculine or the feminine letting go of this connection, which has left somebody in this state where now they're really needing to feel something. They're having to sit with this energy now. Look, and now we have the Chariot's energy. Another number 7, you guys. So 7s and 9s, significant in this reading. This is about the journey. Look at that, the pathway. This is what Spirit is telling you, if you're a feminine watching this video, is that the masculine needed to lose you in order to find his way. So there's something connected to your connection that the masculine had to lose it, or you had to basically, end things with him in order for him to feel the loss of this love, in order to basically have some sort of an evolution or an awakening so he could get on the correct path. That is what it is. Okay, so physical world energy. We have yin and yang. It's very calm energy. Okay, these two cards, another number 7, you guys. So 7 of Pentacles has come up again. So the 7 of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Angels. The Page of Angels is the Page of Swords, and then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Of course, some readers will see this, and so I've got to say it. The Page of Swords can sometimes indicate somebody who is looking or spying or trying to figure out things about you. So that could be happening in the physical world. And then, of course, the 7 of Pentacles is an energy of, again, contemplation. Contemplating something, trying to figure something out, trying to figure out what to do. So I feel like right now, the masculine at this point in his physical world, he is trying to just basically play it safe and be in this very calm energy and balance, or restore perhaps his own energy, or kind of try to figure out what is happening here with this feminine. But I feel like he's not really moving forward. He's not making any big moves at this time to come towards the feminine, but he's certainly in his headspace about her, trying to figure something out. Okay, that's what we got. All right, last message here. Soul energy. How is he feeling her on a soul or energetic level? Look, beautiful. Well, he's definitely feeling energy from her heart space, and it's healing. So it's reconnecting. I feel like he definitely on a soul level is healing. However, the feminine is holding the masculine in his heart space. This actually affects him, whether it's positive or negative. It affects him both ways. Look, Ace of Cups. Wow. He's really feeling the connection. There's a resurgence, a renewal of energy of this connection. We already saw it. We already saw that things are shifting in a huge way, and now we have this resurgence of feelings. Something is basically being healed. It could be that the feminine, if you are watching this video, that you have been sending your masculine more of a calm, healing energy, and he's picking up on it on a soul level. Okay? And the Ace of Cups is a card of self. So it means that maybe the masculine is really focused on the self. We actually saw that already. You're focused on the self. It could be that you have decided that rather than focusing on reconnecting with your masculine, that you are more in the energy of just kind of taking care of yourself. And if that happens to produce something down the line, great. But I don't really feel an urgency with this reading. Not today. I just don't. So let's see how the feminine is feeling towards the masculine. Okay, so just when I said this, we have the search, feeling lost, confused, and lonely. But let's just see what the tarot says. Okay, so I like this connection. I mean, I like this combination here, and the reason why is because at first, of course, when we're thinking about the masculine, she might be feeling lost, confused, and lonely. But then we have the High Priestess's intuition. This is taking that energy and going within, trusting spirit, trusting higher self. So I feel like, of course, the feminine might go in and out of this energy. Some days maybe she's feeling great. Other days she's kind of feeling lost and confused about this journey, about this connection. But the thing is, her higher self, it's telling you to go within, go into your higher self. Your higher self, when you connect, it's like you rebalance, you restore yourself to where you do not feel this lower vibrational energy. So I feel like some feminines are just kind of going back and forth between trusting themselves and feeling lost and lonely on this connection. So they're trying to sort something through. Let's go ahead now and take a look and see where the heart space energy is towards the masculine. Yeah, we have Zen. So to me, it's like inner sanctuary is what it says. It's not really an energy I'm getting here that there's a lot of like just freak out mode or low vibrational stuff. It might pop up every now and then, but I think for the majority of you, it's like very Zen. Yeah, you've surrendered it. You let it go. You're like surrendering to the universe and saying, you know what? Whatever is meant is going to happen. Something is over and I surrender it. And I'm surrendering the pain of the Ten of Swords. I don't want to feel like I'm in pain over this connection. So I'm finding sanctuary within. So it's interesting because group number 1 might also resonate perhaps with group number 2, because I kind of feel like maybe group number 1 should be watching number 2, because it does seem like you're at that point where you're okay without this connection, whether it comes back or it doesn't, because it's kind of forcing you and your person, your masculine, to work on the self. It's kind of like this, your self is the answer. The answers come from within you. The answers for this connection, the key to this connection, the key to making this connection work perhaps down the line starts with you. What is the physical world energy for the feminine towards the masculine? Flame tree. The start of something new. Again, new resurrected energy. Queen of Wands. This is the feminine. So the feminine has illuminated that doing something new and focusing on something new, focusing on something different than this connection is actually where it's at. That's what I'm getting here. That's where it's at. If something isn't happening, focusing on it is not the recipe to success. I'll tell you that right now. The recipe to success is focus on something else. Okay. So what is the soul energy? Soul energy is, again, resurrection through the fire, through the ashes. This is like the phoenix rising. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. She's had to basically bare her soul, get to like the pits of hell, almost of her soul. That's just a metaphor. Go through a lot of pain and agony in order to get to the spot. But look, What has this done? It's given her that brand new fresh, or that brand new lease on life. Page of Wands. Now she's curious to learn more than ever. I feel like for some of you feminines out there, that if it weren't for this connection and your masculine and the things that you had gone through with him, you wouldn't even be where you're at today. So do you see how this person is actually a blessing in your life, and you are actually a blessing for them as well? Because losing you and feeling some sort of pain, or having to basically contend with their own shadows and darkness, is actually the journey back to this connection. So it's very connected. It's all interconnected, and it's exactly where it needs to be right now. That's what I'm seeing. So let's take a look at this actual connection. We're going to be using my decks here, which is the Twin Flame Journey Tarot and the Twin Flame Oracle. And these decks are available for purchase in my Etsy shop. So I'll put a link down below. But if you guys are international, you have to email me so I can send you a special link to order. This deck is called the Soul's Journey Lessons cards. And we're going to go ahead and get an overall theme for a lesson when it comes to this connection this week. What is a lesson for this connection this week? We have pride. Okay, so that's something that creeps up for everybody. You know, our ego and our pride can sometimes do a number on us. We're doing really well, and then all of a sudden something pops up. We see something, we think something, we feel something, and then all of a sudden it seems like we're back to square one. I thought that I cleared this. I thought that I healed this. You know, we all have shadow and light, so we can't just stomp it out and pretend that it doesn't exist. It's just that we gain tools on our journey on how to deal with these shadows when they do come up. What's going on this journey this week, this connection? So let's get some headers here. We have inner child. We have family, so that's kind of interesting here. And we have winter. So I'm getting here that there's something that is frozen beneath the surface. Still hasn't thawed, still hasn't melted. There's some sort of a family issue that's still here. Somebody's pride. It could be that there's a family belief system or tradition or pride that keeps somebody from basically, you know, really choosing their own happiness. It could be that they've got a lot of pride to where they don't even want to be vulnerable to even admit that they have an issue or a problem that stems from family. That's what I'm seeing here. There's inner child issues. There also may be commitment issues here as well, as in somebody is frozen in fear from something from their childhood that is really preventing them from being able to basically come together and have that true connection with another person. So let's go ahead and get some tarot on this. Yep, look at that. Darkness, shadow. There's a shadow when it comes to the past with the inner child wounds and issues, for sure. So the moon just means that this is our fear, this is our pride, this is our ego that's speaking to us. That's basically telling us that we're not going to be safe moving forward. That it's not okay to, you know, open yourself up. That you've got to constantly defend yourself, or that you've got to constantly put that barrier up to other people. Well, the thing is, of course, that does serve a purpose in certain situations, but we can't go through our entire lives blocking everybody moving forward now because of this one wound. It doesn't apply to every situation in our lives. It had something to teach us, but it's not something that we should carry with us for the rest of our lives, and basically raking every person over the coals, you know, because of the abuse that we either experienced or saw perhaps, or just what we felt as a child, whether it was unpleasant or whatever. It doesn't mean that every single situation now needs to stem from that energy. So there's a real need to thaw and clear something here this week when it comes to this connection. So somebody's still stuck in their illusions. Somebody still basically hasn't risen to the surface. They're still kind of drowning in an inner child issue, or childish behaviors is what I'm getting here. Family energy. Yeah, look, but this is beautiful though, because we already got the energy here of walking away and evolving. So I feel like on this connection is that people have made the decision to either walk away or let someone go, surrender them, so that way they can go off and evolve. And that is what I'm seeing here for sure. People have needed to go off and find their own way. They've had to go and discover. They've had to go through their dark night of the soul. This is currently happening. This has already happened maybe, but this is something that's necessary to thaw what has been frozen. Frozen in time. Yeah, we have the King of Pentacles. For me, the King of Pentacles is a father. Sometimes I see it as the Emperor as well. So that, again, this could be father issues, perhaps. This could be, masculine presence in someone's life that has really done a number. And so it's really causing a lot of energies when it stems from childhood. Maybe choosing certain partners that have particular characteristics that of course you can't stand, but somehow it resonates with your being because it feels normal to you. It feels safe. How could something negative feel safe? And the thing is, it just unfortunately it just does sometimes for people, until you can really break free from this barrier, or break through your ego, break through that inner child wound. So I feel like for the masculine and the feminine, that right now when it comes to commitment and family, the King of Pentacles is a family man. Somebody has to evolve. Somebody has to get out of their darkness. They got to deal with the shadow. It's not about it's getting through the darkness. It's not that the darkness is going to ever leave. But some people are marinating more in their shadow than they are in their light. So it's about balancing both the dark and the light within the self. So somebody has to evolve, see past it, see past their belief systems that are kind of taking them away from being able to have a beautiful experience. So I feel like this is both for the masculine and the feminine, but just in different ways. So there is like a dark night of the soul, getting rid of some old energy that no longer serves, needing to evolve past the pride and the ego this week. And it might be connected to masculine or father figures in our lives. Wow. All right, so that's what's happening on the journey. So let's go ahead and see what the masculine wants to say to the feminine from his higher self. Actually, no. Before we go into that, we're going to get into the shadow. What is the shadow of the connection right now? Because there's obviously some sort of shadow with the connection for both masculine and feminine. This right here is called the Divine Legacy of the Divine Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. And this is my twin flame shadows. What are some shadows that are popping up this week? That's the one that wants to come out. We have secretive, somebody hiding. Somebody either lying, they have a deceptive energy, they have a deceptive quality, well, it's not really a quality, but they have a deceptive way about them that keeps them from basically being able to be, or being vulnerable and taking off their mask, okay? There's also an energy where people are hiding from one another. They're hiding out of fear. It's just an illusion is what I'm getting from spirit. So if your person has not made contact with you, or they're acting in a certain way to where it just seems like their actions are telling you that they don't give a shit about you, that they don't care, I'm getting that is a mask, that there's some kind of an illusion this week. And it might be triggering you in a way to where you are now taking it into yourself, and it's triggering all those inner child issues within you. I'm not good enough. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I'm this. I'm that. Like, I'm getting here that there's something that might be happening within this connection this week that is triggering some sort of shadow within you that still needs to be healed. Three of Wands. So the masculine got the Three of Wands energy here when it came to how he was seeing the feminine. So there's something on the horizon, but see how this ship here is up in the clouds and it's coming back. So there's something about an energy of return here. This feeling of being afraid that something will never happen. So this fear is here this week. We have the Justice card, that justice will not be served, that we will not be able to balance our connection or balance ourselves or heal in order to make this happen. So there's a lot of fear about the connection this week. And we have the Five of Coins. Again, the Five of Coins is about feeling shut out and left out in the cold, feeling like we're depleted, feeling like we're not good enough. So there's a lot of shadow here. You see that? I'm seeing it's for the feminine and the masculine. So there's a lot of heavy energy that they are getting through. But we got so many positive energies when it came to the both of you that, to me, it just means your work is cut. You're cut out for your work this week, or your work is cut out for you this week, however that goes. You got your work cut out for you. And you know what journey is a journey without some challenges, right? That's what I'm seeing here. All right, what message does the masculine have for the feminine? This right here is my Twin Flame Messages, Volume 2. Okay, so the masculine is telling the feminine that I just want you to be happy. So at the end of the day, this masculine does not hate the feminine. The masculine actually does not want the feminine to be unhappy. So if for some of them they feel that they can only bring you unhappiness or deception or heartbreak, they might be purposely not coming towards you at this time because they just want you to be happy. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. What is the feminine's energy towards the masculine? Oh, wow. Well, this feminines, we just saw the inner child in the family card. My family and upbringing are a bigger factor than I realized. What you're telling your masculine this week is that, you know what? I actually got a lot more crap and issues than I cared to admit. I've got a lot of stuff that maybe I need to work on, or a lot of things that have triggered me. Maybe I have lashed out at you, or maybe I have held you responsible for certain things that maybe I didn't get as a child. So what's interesting is that the feminine is kind of admitting to the masculine. Remember, these are higher self messages here. That the feminine is telling the masculine that I definitely realize that I've got a lot more issues, or I have a lot more that has created me to become triggered by our connection than I actually realized before. So this is fantastic. The feminine is becoming aware of herself. The feminine is becoming aware that this person that she wants to be with, her masculine, that she might have some things that she needs to take care of on her end. That's what I'm seeing here. That's an interesting message back and forth there. All right, you guys. So let's now take a look and see what is some healing energy and advice that spirit can give to you and your connection right now. Let's see. This right here is called the Grace Cards by Cheryl Richardson. We're going to combine them with my Signs from Spirit Love Oracle. So this is the messages that Spirit wants to give you, the viewer, for some advice and wisdom at this time on your connection. We have red. I love it. So red goes both ways. Red is very passionate, but passion can also turn into anger. But sometimes we need the shadowy aspect of the color red, the energy, to be courageous and to become strong. Sometimes we have to get pissed in order to be strong and courageous. So it's kind of like, working with both the shadow and the light of red's energy. Red keeps us strong. Red keeps us basically moving forward ahead and growth. So we have the energy of growth that says accept the lesson. So the person that's watching this video, if you're a feminine, maybe you're not though, if you're a feminine, we just saw that your family and your upbringing and the lessons right now have something to do with family issues and upbringing. So it's saying accept the lesson. Accept the lesson, embrace all of the energies, all of the things that have happened, and really start to look at it from a different perspective. When things don't go our way, something more important to the growth of our soul is in the works. What Spirit is saying is that there's something more important going on when it comes to your own soul development and growth. And so something might not be happening with this particular masculine right now because there's still some healing and growth that needs to be done. Whoa. All right, you guys. So that really is a very significant message from Spirit when it comes to something to consider and some advice. So they're telling you here, turn this into something worth something. Turn it, make it matter. I always say this, make all of that pain matter. Do something, grow from it, become inspired from it. Do something you've always wanted to do. Clear this, be a better person because of this, become stronger, improve yourself like you never have before. This might be a perfect catalyst, this connection, to get you on your correct path. So we can bless this connection. We don't have to hate it. Okay, but it's a very fine line. You're very passionate about it. I don't blame you. So let's end this reading now with some final messages when it comes to just future energies and how our angels are assisting us in the future. This is the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. Okay, that one wants to pop out because you guys just saw it's just like swung like a door just right out. So we'll take that Queen of Swords energy. This right here is the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue, a deck that is no longer in print. I am so bummed out because this deck is falling apart. Look at this. Okay, I'm like, well, I'll go ahead and order a new one. And yeah, you can't. So this is it, you guys. Whoever has the Romance Angels, and I know some people that actually gave away the Romance Angel cards because they were so pissed off about the whole Doreen Virtue thing. But man, it's going to be hard to find. They're like going for, I think, $200 or $300 on Amazon. Ridiculous. Okay, so the Queen of Michael is the Queen of Swords. So future energies. I feel like this is a message for the feminine. The Queen of Swords says brilliant, self-reliant. We've seen this energy very significant for feminines. Insightful and humorous. Just basically seeing the lighter side of a situation. The Queen of Swords is pretty serious, but make sure that you don't completely cut yourself off from opening yourself up and healing and just feeling something, right? You've done the work. You know exactly what to do, the benefit of your experience. You've gone through a lot of stuff, and because of this, you have the experience now. Now you have, what is the word I'm looking? I can't think of the word I want to use, but now you can discern. That's it. You can discern between what is for you and what feels right for you or what doesn't. So again, you're going into like a new environment to where you're putting yourself out there again. But you're so much stronger than you were before. You have this sword. You're going to cut out any bullshit that tries to come in your path. But again, you're not doing it because you're hard. You're doing it because you have wisdom now. So you've had experience. So it says a time for your career rather than relationships. Again, so in the future, it might be feminines rather than focusing on this connection, which I actually don't see you doing much of. It's time for you to basically focus on yourself and maybe your career. Interesting. All right. You have past life relationship. You have known each other before. So in the future, I feel like this connection that you feel with your person, it's still with you. It's still with you. It's a part of your past. It's a part of your present. It's a part of your future. Remember, we're looking in future energy. Your past is coming with you. There ain't really a lot you can do about it. But you are learning to coexist with the energy in a very healthy way. Okay, kind of like where number 2 is. Group number 2, Spirit is really funny. It's like what Spirit is saying is that group number 1 and group number 2 are very similar, but it's just kind of like a different side of yourself. Maybe there's a part of you that's in this energy, but then there's a part of you that's in an accepting energy, but I kind of feel like it's all blended now together. Very interesting. So yeah, this connection here is still with you, but you're learning how to basically move forward and take care of yourself and be independent and kind of live without it is what I'm seeing here. This doesn't mean it's not coming back together. We can clearly see that this masculine is doing some sort of deep, heavy soul work. But it, of course, does look like that, you're just kind of more focused on yourself than even this connection. Devil. Decision. So it might be that you make a decision in December or January. The reason I say this is because the devil is ruled by Capricorn, and Capricorn is December and January. It might be that you make a decision. Literally, you make a decision. It says you're releasing yourself from which is holding you back. You're needing to detox unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. So you kind of realize that your own belief and your own energy might have actually been doing more of a number on you than this connection. Sometimes we have a tendency to look at another person and say, if they would just change, or if they would just do this, then I could be happy. What you're realizing is that you're taking back your power, your own feelings, your own insecurities, your own hangups. That's what's causing you to feel all this shit, not this person. So they're just there as that kind of reminder, that mirror to kind of put up to your face to go, you need to still deal with this, right? So some sort of a decision is being made to release ourselves from things that are toxic, that feel heavy and burdensome. And we have to keep an open mind, okay? So this is something that I'm going to say that some people are not either going to resonate with, which is completely fine. You're not going to want to take the message. But just because this is coming up doesn't mean that it is the message for you. But for some of you, it might be that you are ready to basically open yourself up to something different. Meaning you've gotten to a point where you're like, you know what? I love this person. I'll always care for them. There's some sort of an energy where I almost feel like group number 1 is ascending into group number 2. Very bizarre. But I have not even done group number 2 yet, you guys. So let's just see what the hell is going to happen. But keep an open mind. Spirit is telling you to keep your mind open. Don't be fixated on a particular outcome. That's devil's energy. Obsessed. Addicted. I need it. I have to have it. Spirit's saying keep an open mind because your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectation. So what you expect to happen may not happen in the way that you think it's going to. Or maybe it's a different person entirely. So again, some people are not going to like that message. You do not have to take it. You can take it as just let go and let the universe work its freaking magic. So the future energies really isn't giving us like we're coming back into union. This person is coming back. They're rushing back. Anything like that. Again, anything is possible. It's more or less of an energy that you're just kind of taking your sword of truth. You're moving forward in the world. You're focusing on yourself. You still have this connection with you, but you're not connected to it in that low vibrational, I need it, I'm obsessed with it, 24/7 kind of energy. You're opening your mind. You're clearing your energy. That's beautiful. And that's how you could take the message as well. So you guys, I hope you resonated with it. If you didn't, maybe you can go on into group number 2. And actually, if you resonated with this message, you might even want to watch number 2. It's totally up to you. So let's get into it. All right, you guys. So if you chose group number 2, okay, let's go ahead and get into the messages. So we're going to focus now on where the masculine is at this week when it comes to this connection. So this right here is the... Actually, I'm just going to be using this, and no, I'm going to tell you guys. It's the Gateway Oracle cards. I want people to know what I'm using. Mental space for the masculine this week. Receiving from angels. So this means that the spirit guides are with the masculine this week, trying to give him some sort of message, trying to connect with his higher self about this connection, about this union. Whoa. Receiving from angels. So there's a lot of signs that spirit is giving this masculine this week when it comes to the spiritual connection with the spiritual union, helping him to open up his heart space to it if it has been closed. What's happening with this masculine's heart space? Expecting miracles. Interesting. Oh, wow. We are taking a very dark, shadowy energy, which is the moon's energy, and something miraculously is shifting and changing in the masculine's heart space. So literally, this is Spirit's way of intervening this week into the masculine's world, really helping him to face his shadows, to let some sort of fear go. And it's like a miraculous healing is taking place. Outer world, looking deeper, going... Okay, so let me just go ahead and get the tarot with this, but immediately the message I'm getting here is that the masculine is going deeper than what he sees. What he sees in front of him, it may not be sustaining him any longer. Yep, look at that. New beginning. I want something fresh. I want something completely different. What I thought I wanted isn't exactly what I want. What I have in front of me is not sustaining me. I'm going deeper. I'm going deeper. I feel like the masculine is looking at relationships, looking perhaps for someone to connect with on a very deep level. So there's a major transformation happening this week for the masculine, and the divine is assisting with this happening. We have believe in magic. So on a soul level, there's like some kind of magical thing that's happening here. It's almost like the masculine is feeling very magical. He may have not been in this energy for a while. He might have felt just kind of in the shadows and just kind of blah. But I see this like new energy that he's in now where he's starting to feel like the magic of life again. Look at this, 2 of Pentacles, back and forth. But I am getting this. Masculine isn't sure. It's like he's feeling these major shifts and transformations that are coming from the spirit world, but he's not sure if he can believe in it. Back and forth. I'm not sure if that's something that kind of thing. I feel like the mental space is focused on a love. Like he's thinking about love. He's thinking about a spiritual connection. And he's kind of back and forth between, can he really rely on what he's being told or what he's hearing or what he's feeling deep inside or what even signs he's seeing? So I feel like there's something that he's not quite sure. He's going back and forth with his mind on whether or not this is real, whether or not there's something that he's really questioning this week. Not sure if he 100% believes in the magic. Okay, so feminines, where is the feminine at when it comes to her journey this week? This right here is the Psychic Heart Tarot and Oracle cards by John Holland. So let's take a look here. Where's the feminine this week? Okay, she's making a difference. That's beautiful. So mentally what she's focused on is making a difference in her life, maybe in the world of others. Wow, we have control. So this is the Strength card. It's a very powerful energy, making a difference. I do see the Strength card as a masculine card. It's ruled by the sun, also, Leo, the sun. So to me, it's kind of like making a difference by perhaps letting something go. So we can see that she's just like letting that starfish, she's putting it back into the ocean. So she's making a difference with her energy. That's what I get. And this energy here of the heart, not of the heart space, of this masculine, I feel like she's making a difference with the way that she's viewing the masculine. So she's letting go, she's healing. It's very calm energy. So that's the message I'm getting. It's making the difference in the masculine's energy because of the way she's connecting to him and seeing him at this time. Very healing. Heart space. Yeah, look, this just proves it. She's letting go. She's letting the masculine go, but she's doing it in unconditional love. She doesn't expect anything. She doesn't expect anything from this connection. She doesn't expect it to come back to her. She might sense that it will at some point, but she doesn't expect it. Oh my God, we have the Ace of Cups. Whoa. So the Ace of Cups is beautiful because this is a resurgence of love, a brand new beginning. Love abounds once again. When you let something go, if it comes back to you, it's yours. And that is the energy that the feminine is in this week. Loving herself, focusing on her own cup. That is what's making the difference. The more that the feminine loves herself and forgives herself, the more that she's going to be in this energy towards her masculine. And that's going to make all the difference in the connection. For sure. Outer world. She's trusting her intuition. Yep, 4 of Swords. Just breathe. Just whatever's happening. I'm just in that surrender mode, letting go, going with the flow, not questioning too many things. I'm just trusting my intuition at this point. I'm taking maybe a breather. I'm taking a step back. I'm taking time for me. I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking a time out. That's what I'm seeing here for this feminine. Soul energy. Finding or following your bliss. Love it. This feminine on a soul level is just basically following her bliss. It's beautiful. Look. Oh, wow. Okay, so I just got a specific message here. Following your bliss. This is about spiritual teacher. Some feminines here may have followed their bliss, and it's leading to their soul's purpose. They're able to teach others. They're able to maybe step into a spiritual, like a spiritual practice. Healing, divination, crystals, Reiki. I'm just getting there's some spiritual energy here. This is also about going deeply within and really focusing on learning new spiritual practices. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the feminine is teaching anyone, but she's learning something perhaps from a spiritual teacher or some sort of maybe even organized religion or just a spiritual belief system, a set of beliefs. So she's following her bliss on her soul. She's opening herself up to new concepts. She's learning, she's growing. She might also be teaching and healing others. But do you see how all of this letting go and this journey so far is actually leading to her to exactly where she needs to be? That's really beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and shift focus and go into the masculine's energy towards the feminine. Where's the masculine at this time towards the feminine? We have this deck here, Tony Carmine Salerno, both decks, Gaia Oracle and the Art of Tarot. But the Art of Tarot is also with Denise Jarvie. All right, so what is the energy that this masculine has towards this feminine right now? Mental space. When he thinks about this feminine, where's this energy? Reflection, really taking the time to reflect. There's an illusion here. There's self-examination going on. There's also some distortion. So there's some kind of moon energy. We actually just saw this for this masculine. He's in that shadow self, the moon's energy. So really thinking about something. Maybe there's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of things that are coming up for the masculine at this time. Oh, wow. Look at this, you guys. The Tower's energy, the ego. The ego is collapsing. I feel like the masculine is really taking time to reflect on things that have happened between him and the feminine. And realizing perhaps that maybe he was operating out of ego and something is collapsing. So he's realizing that something needs to shift and change severely in himself. Heart space. Yeah, he remembers her. He's reflecting and he remembers. There's a lot of stuff that's resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. This masculine's in a major cycle of remembering and thinking about her, and things are starting to collapse. Things are like, it's almost like old walls are crashing down and new ones are emerging. Not new walls, but new like energy is emerging. Like, whoa, really getting a lot of clarity. Really getting a lot of clarity this week. Oh yeah, see, look at this here. We have the Emperor's energy, the masculine. It's like trying to take control of something. That's how I see the Emperor, trying to take control. I'm also getting here the energy of father, which is father issues. Now, this came up in group number 1, and I do feel that group number 1 and number 2, I didn't even really need to separate it this week because it's all connected. So it doesn't mean I won't do it again moving forward, but for whatever reason, Spirit is like giving us all the, like a very extended reading, I guess, because now I'm having this father energy, father issues related to the masculine, and he is realizing, perhaps maybe even remembering, going back into his past when it comes to his own issues with, being a particular masculine. Maybe he did not have the best role model. That could be it as well. Or maybe the how he envisioned how he was supposed to be with the feminine did not come from a good source. So, or it could just be a lack of parental guidance in this particular area. Could even be an overbearing mother just with a very masculine quality. Could be that as well. But yeah, resurfacing past feelings, trying to take control, trying to take responsibility. The Emperor is all about responsibility. Really trying to take responsibility for the past in his heart space. So we got some major stuff going on here for this masculine. Okay, this is in the physical world. I feel like the masculine wants to message the feminine. This is not to give anybody false hope to tell you that a message is coming to you, but this is the outer world, meaning that the masculine is possibly thinking about messaging this feminine. And I could see why with all that energy. But he feels stuck and he feels confused and he's holding himself back. There you go. 8 of Swords. A lot of confusion. If I were to put something out there, if I were to, sometimes the Emperor can be about ego as well. Kind of like, ooh, I don't, we did have ego here. Like, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle rejection. I don't know where this feminine is at. I don't know how this would go. I can't find the frickin' words. But there is definitely an energy of trying to take responsibility. All right, let's take a look at the soul's energy, or the energy that he feels connected to his feminine. We have perception. This veil is lifting. So he is looking beyond the veil. He's trying to get clarity. I feel like this masculine has a lot of confusion, perhaps. I just picked this up. The masculine is getting some sort of confusion, mixed signals. He's getting mixed signals. Some of you might have social media and your masculine's looking at it and he's very confused as to what he's seeing. Okay, that could be it too. Because there's some sort of perception. It's an illusion. There's an illusion, perception. It did come up in group 1 where somebody was, what they were projecting wasn't actually what it was. There's an illusion here. Yeah, 6 of Angels, 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is transitioning out of being in a confused energy. So I feel like there is peace here. I feel like the masculine definitely wants peace with this feminine. But it's kind of like it's going to have to take lifting this veil or lifting this darkness in order to get there, in order to transition into this very healed energy. That's what I'm seeing here. So I feel like you guys are both in shadow work, and you guys are both... Actually, I don't really see that the feminine's too much in her shadow, because I see that the energy that she is sending her masculine is actually quite healing. And that might be one of the reasons why all this stuff is coming up for him now, is because she's finally released him, and so now he's able to feel all of this energy on his own. Sometimes the feminine, when she's so connected and feeling all of this heavy stuff, she's kind of hogging the energy from the masculine dealing with any of it and feeling any of it. So when the feminine finally lets go, it's like a rubber band and it snaps back to the masculine. He's got to feel it all. Do you see what I'm saying? So the feminines can sometimes carry a lot of the burden of the energy of the connection. But when you finally heal it on your end, or just decide to let it go and focus on something else, it almost forces your masculine to have to sit with that energy. And you're not doing it to punish him. You're doing it because that's what you need to do for yourself. Everybody has responsibilities that they need to take for their actions. And now it's the masculine's time. Okay? But this is absolutely what's necessary between the two of you to be able to lift this veil of illusion and transition out of any kind of misconceptions or dark energy. Wow. Okay, so that's where the masculine is at with you. Where is the feminine at with the masculine? How is she holding the masculine's energy in her mental space? Oh my gosh. Holy crap. There are 2 cards that are exactly the same image. Different cards. How is she seeing the masculine right now? What she's expanding her own energy, and what that's doing, it's like she's kind of closing this chapter. It doesn't mean she's closing it for good, but like she's closing some sort of a cycle that maybe hasn't really brought forth much result, or it hasn't made her feel good. So like she's now stepping into a healthier side of herself. And I feel like this is actually helping the connection. Liberating herself in some sort of way. Okay, so in her heart space, we have apprehension. And we have the 4 stars. Okay, so 4 stars is 4 of wands, advancing. This did come up in group 1. So most likely if you resonated with group 1, you're probably watching group 2. This to me, moving out into the world. This came up in group 1, meaning that the feminine, she's done a lot of work, she's done a lot of healing, and now it's time for her to basically put herself out into the world and start living her life. Getting out amongst the living, or testing what she's learned. So we have advancement, 4 of wands. You've built something up for yourself, but you're still apprehensive about moving forward with it. So this, remember, is about the masculine, how you're feeling towards the masculine. You're very apprehensive. You're not sure. You're not sure actually how things are going to be. You know that you're closing this chapter and you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for, just maybe even the connection. You're just doing it because that's what you need to do for yourself. But now you're afraid that if you close this chapter, that somehow something's going to happen to this foundation, or that you're going to move on into the world and things aren't going to work out for you. So there's kind of this fear here. So I know I said that there wasn't really a lot of shadow coming up with the feminine, but here it is. In the heart space, there is a little bit of that apprehension of basically advancing and moving forward with your life, because you're afraid that somehow this connection's going to leave you, or that this connection is, like going to disappear. It won't. But that could just be a fear for you. Physical world, Gaia. 7 of stars, having faith. 7 of stars here is the 7 of wands. So it says wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual understanding. Having faith. 7 of wands is a card of trials, meaning like we've basically been backed up against the wall. We've really had to defend ourselves. We really have. But have faith. Keep pushing forward anyways. Take the wisdom and the knowledge that you've learned and start to see things from a spiritual perspective. So when it comes to all the things that you've gone through with your masculine, don't allow it to now make you hard to where you can't move on and can't move forward with your life because you're afraid to get hurt. You can't let your guard down. I'm getting here. You need to see that there's been wisdom in this. There's been wisdom in these wounds. Let them be stars, notches on a belt, stars of achievement that are telling you achievement over here. Let the things that you've learned from this connection, the hardships that you've had to go through, the wisdom that you've gained through going through all of this, and don't let it now curse you from being able to move forward and to do the things that you want to do and to live the life that you want to live. Use this energy as a stepping stone. Yeah. And the soul energy, or just the energies that connect you. Amethyst, love it. Transformation, certainty, and confidence. Yeah, closing out this cycle. So that's what I'm seeing here. When it comes to this feminine and how she's feeling towards her masculine, she's literally transcending this energy, transmuting it, really. So it says transformative, being certain and having confidence moving forward. So the energy, it's like if it's heavy, she's letting it go. If it's inspiring her and it's giving her confidence and it's helping her to transform and grow, she'll plug into it. But if it gets to a point where it's feeling heavy for her, she unplugs from it. So I'm kind of getting that this feminine kind of plugs in, plugs out, plugs in, plugs out. Whatever is working for her is what she's going to basically, that's when she's going to focus on the connection. And if she's focused on the connection and she's feeling scared or she's feeling low vibrational, she might disconnect from it. So I feel like this feminine is kind of in and out of this connection. Sometimes you're feeling it, other times you're just kind of like calm and you're not feeling really the intensity, and other times you're feeling it. When you do feel the intensity, you realize that there's something for you to learn, so you work on yourself. But again, this is a feminine that doesn't really need this masculine. That's what I'm seeing. So yes, it might be separate than number 2 now, but this feminine does not need this masculine. She's totally fine moving forward with her life without it. So let's take a look and see what's going on with the journey. All right, what's going on with the journey? Twin Flame Journey Tarot, Twin Flame Messages, Twin Flame Oracle, sorry. Available in my Etsy. If you're international, email me. I'll send you a special link. This right here is the Soul's Journey Lessons card. Let's get the overall lesson for this journey this week. Failure. The energy that the feminine was holding was feeling afraid. Moving out into the world, doubt and fear of failure. So there's something I feel like the feminine's got to get through this week when it comes to feeling like she failed, feeling like maybe her masculine will not learn from his failures. It says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So again, there are no mistakes in this connection. There are no mistakes really in life. It's an opportunity to learn something. So it's about getting out of that energy of feeling like it's all been for nothing. This connection has been for something. It's been for your own development and growth as a soul. And some people will make comments and just say, I don't understand what the point of this connection is if we're not going to end up together. And if you're asking that question, the number 2, group 2, is probably not for you. Okay? We have contemplation, free will. Spirit's answering a question. It's not a question. Spirit's answering something for people. At the end of the day, everybody has free will. Again, there are all kinds of people out there with different belief systems. This is just my own. I don't care what kind of connection you have. Everybody has free will. Okay? So that's another reason why, you may still feel the energy of this individual, but it is up to the people involved and their free will choices that are going to determine what's going to happen with your connection. So that's why it's not a good idea to get fixated on a particular outcome, because sometimes that outcome, it's not coinciding with somebody else's free will. So we are focusing here on the lessons and the energy of this connection this week. So we have contemplation. So we might be really heavily thinking. We already saw this for the masculine. The masculine is heavily contemplating this connection, heavily thinking about it, really in his headspace, reminiscing about it. Three of Pentacles, how to come together in the 3D world, how to make something happen, how to collaborate, how to come together. So heavy energy this week when it comes to how would we even come together and make this work? How would it even, does it even make sense? Some of you might just be, you know, at a point where you're in your life where you're just like, I feel this energy, I dream about it, it's a fantasy, but at the end of the day, in reality, it doesn't even make sense. Would it even work? That's kind of what I'm getting here. Free will. Yep, free will when it comes to twin flame. This is an energy here, like, and I was going to say this, when it comes to people that are on the twin flame journey or that call certain connections twin flames, they basically talk about how free will doesn't exist. And again, I completely disagree. But again, that is just my own belief system. It doesn't have to resonate with yours. You guys can totally believe in something different. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't care what kind of a connection this is. There's free will. So there's free will. Like the Lovers, though, even though I named it twin flame connection to this card, the Lovers in traditional tarot is about choices. Choices that we make. Making choices in life, in our heart space, making a choice maybe from the heart. But again, at the end of the day, people are going to make choices. Could even be a choice between two people. Kind of getting an energy of a third party here. Three of Pentacles and a Lovers here. Third party, possibly for some people have free will to basically choose the connection or stay with their partners. That includes you as well watching the video. And we have nostalgia. Ace of Cups. You know, the Ace of Cups is always that reminder, which is why I called it love initiation in this deck, because it's an initiation to love yourself more. This twin flame connection, if that's what you want to label it, is an opportunity for you to love yourself more, to get more connected to yourself. That's one of the reasons that you cannot let it go. It's one of the reasons that it's always with you, is because there's something for you to learn from this connection. Whether you're with this person or not in physical reality or ever see them again, it doesn't matter. It's all teaching you something. It's all an opportunity for you to learn something here. So you might look at this as a big failure, as a big shadow, as a big just waste of time. It's not. It's not. It's an opportunity for you to learn something. A lot of people will say, I can't let go of somebody's energies. I keep thinking about them all the time. That's because there's something that you still have to learn. Some people will look at that and say, well, it must mean that I'm meant to be with this person. Maybe, maybe not. I always look at it as there's something for you to still learn and consider and heal and address. That's why you're still feeling this person's energy all the time. And maybe when you don't feel that energy anymore, it's because you've really, truly let them go and you've healed. So as far as lessons, when it comes to this week, when it comes to this connection, is letting go, realizing that people have free will choices, make this connection about you, loving yourself more, and that people are at this time perhaps even contemplating on whether or not this is something that they even want in their reality. At the end of the day, maybe you, even watching the video, maybe this is just, you'd have to give up too much, or they would have to give up too much, or maybe for some of you, your person has put you through too much to where you finally have gotten to a point where you've healed, you've forgiven, and you've let go. But your logical side might be telling you, I'm not sure if I'll ever really be able to trust this person again. So the reality doesn't really match up with the feeling that you have. The soul connection that you have, the feeling that you have, you love nothing more than to come back together with them. But at the end of the day, trying to make a relationship work, you might still feel that it will fail, that it's something that will just bring you pain again. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. There's no guarantees in life. So I feel like some of you might be a little apprehensive about what you even want from this connection anymore. Is it something that the energy you're connected to, it's just a soul's journey for you at this point? Or some of you are thinking, I don't even know if I even can have this person back in my life. So there's some heavy stuff going on here in this one, group number 2. Real heavy. So let's go ahead and address some of the shadow here. We've got the Twin Flame Shadows, and we also have this Legacy of the Divine Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. So I'm just going to put this down here, and we're going to grab a shadow this week for this connection. Shocking. Wow. All right. Okay, what I'm getting, you guys, is that some of you are in complete and total like disbelief that this person is thinking about you, that they feel anything for you anymore, that they would even be sorry, that they would ever even come back in your life. Now, this is not to say that any of those things are going to happen, like they're going to come back. But the Four of Coins is a card of somebody being really fixated and like they're very much like stubborn. They are who they are. Like they're not changing shit. It would be shocking for you to see that this person has changed. That's what I'm seeing here. Yep. It would be very shocking for you to see the wheel turn in this connection again. So I feel like there's a disbelief in this connection. I feel like there's a disbelief that this could ever even be a reality. And that might be where you feel safe. Four of Pentacles to me is a card of we feel very safe just kind of holding on to something and not letting something go. We don't want to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable it's too scary. Eight of Cups is like, you know what? I'm just fine with just letting go, walking away, or letting this person walk away. But I'm getting here that the shadow and the turn of events and everything that's happened in this connection has been for evolution purposes. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not for anything else besides evolution, but there's definitely an energy here where you have evolved and this person has evolved, and it might be very shocking for you to even believe that this person can change, but I'm getting that they can. I'm getting that they have. You know, they might not be at that level still that maybe you would want them to be, but I feel like there has been some shifts that have been taking place for this individual, and it might be shocking to you to know that they actually feel something maybe more for you, or that they feel something for you and you thought that they didn't. So there's a shadow here that's lurking. We fear that people don't care. We fear that people have just moved on and they've turned their backs on us for good. But we can clearly see that this masculine in this connection is clearly seeing something and feeling something. So our own fears and our own ego will tell us lies all day long. It's they don't give a shit. They never cared about you. You know, blah, 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 this and that. And, you know, we don't want to be in the clouds either. But, man, listening to that negative voice in our heads that tells us that people never gave a shit about us can really do a number on you. So I'm getting that needs to kind of shift a little bit at this time. Okay, so let's see what the masculine's message is for the feminine and what the feminine's message is for the masculine. This right here is my Twin Flame Messages Volume 2. I just got sidetracked. So he's letting the feminine know that on their journey, when they came together at one time or another, and whatever happened between the two of them, he got sidetracked. Something happened. Something else took precedence over this connection. Something else was going on in his life. Something maybe was more important at the time. But he's letting her know, I just got sidetracked. Not necessarily that it was you. It was more or less that I just had so many other things going on. That's what I'm seeing here. That's what he wants. The higher self is wanting to tell this to the feminine's higher self. Okay, even though I don't show it, I am sorry for how things went between us. Now, for some of you feminines, it might be that you do have something that you wish that you can apologize for. That could be it for some of you. But I'm also getting that your masculine isn't showing that he's sorry. And your higher self, the feminine's higher self, is basically, you know, really wanting to know if the masculine is sorry. Okay? Is the masculine truly sorry? And I feel like that shadow that just came up is that the feminine is in that lower vibrational thought that the masculine never gave two shits about her. So there's something going on here. But it's kind of weird because in the very beginning of this reading, the feminine is really sharing and showing and really sending the masculine a lot of positive vibes. But then I got this energy where she's kind of in and out. Sometimes she's in that energy, other times she's not. Well, you know what? None of us are perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. So it's only natural that this feminine would kind of be in that state sometimes, and then other times maybe not so much in that state. So it's okay, feminines. Give yourselves a break. But I feel like even though you don't show that you care, you're telling the masculine, I do care about you. I do care about you. Some feminines out there may have done a really good job at pulling away from their masculines and never speaking to them again. And her higher self is telling this masculine, I know that it seems that I don't care about you. That I'm not sorry that we're no longer speaking, but I wish we were. That's the message. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some advice from Spirit for the person watching this video. What is some advice from Spirit? This is the Grace Cards by Cheryl Richardson. I'm just going to grab one. We have Watch. And we're going to use my Signs from Spirit Love Oracle. That's the one. Just watch. Like a tidal wave, like a freaking tower, something is going to happen. Okay, that's the message I'm getting from just this, but there might be another message on the back of this card, but just watch. So Spirit's telling you, just watch. Something is actually going to be very shocking to you. Just watch and see. Something is going to shock you. Something is going to shift, and you're going to be like, I never thought that that would happen, or I just can't even believe it. Like, you're not even going to be able to believe it is what I'm getting here from Spirit. Watch for a miracle. It says coincidences are divinely inspired moments designed to remind us that a higher power is guiding our lives. What Spirit is telling you right now is just watch. Something is about, I don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point in time with this particular person, something crazy is going to happen, and it's going to shock the hell out of you. And I'm getting here, it's the feminine, meaning the feminine is going to be shocked by the masculine, either coming back or making some sort of reappearance in her life, or some kind of indication that he still thought about you, or that he still cares about you, or something. Something is going to happen, and it's going to knock your freaking socks off. That's the message, you guys. So, again, you know, when you least expect it, maybe. So, let's end this reading now with some possible future energies on the horizon, and also some angelic guidance. Archangel Power Tarot Cards by Robbie Valentine. Doreen Virtue Romance Angel cards. Possible future energies. We have the Wheel. Okay, you guys, the Wheel. The Wheel came up. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I just have to. What's shocking? Shocking to know, and I'm picking this card up too, that the masculine still is remembering and thinking about the feminine. Well, we already saw that early on in the reading. The Wheel, the events that have taken place, that somebody's walked away, right? That's where you're at, but you're going to be shocked perhaps when someone returns. I am not saying that's going to happen, but the way that this is coming together, the feminine is going to be shocked. Just watch, wait and see. What does this say? A higher power is guiding your life. There's higher forces at work here, people. And so it's almost like the universe is telling you, just watch. Might shock you. It might shock you. New beginnings, ends of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. So the wheel is going to turn again. Something is happening here. Something is happening. We have some kind of all right, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. When it comes to Doreen Virtue's Romance Angels cards, I read them intuitively. I do look at the words on the bottom rather than the keyword. I almost wish that the keyword was not there because it really just kind of takes away from, for me, what that is. But the message is ascension. Your connection is actually ascending to a higher level, whether you see it or not. Things are happening behind the scenes, you guys, that you're not aware of. So it's going to be shocking to you when you actually see it perhaps pop up in your physical reality. I just can't. The Eight of Wands, really? The Eight of Wands is an energy that is sudden. It's communication. It's travel. It's very exciting. Okay? It's very exciting, but let's just go ahead and see, what the last message is here. Let's see what we got. I just can't. Recapturing the romance of this is ridiculous, you guys. So I don't know. Spirit is just kind of being silly today, maybe. Giving you a little bit of a glimpse of what you thought was never possible. Maybe it is. Because I have the wheel turning in this connection perhaps down the line. your connection that's ascending to a higher level, somebody basically a sudden communication and recapturing the romance, how things used to be. I don't know, you guys. That's what I'm getting. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, or I should say readings. It's almost been an hour and a half, so hope you guys hung in there and got something significant from it. So take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.